What's up, everybody? GNS Jackson. This is going to be a controversial video, so disclaimer, don't get triggered. I'm not here to spew any discord or division. But from the title of this video, what we're going to be talking about is how hard it is to become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse versus a trader. Okay. And when we're talking about becoming, we mean passing the tests. Okay. We're not talking about how long it takes. We're not talking about how many tests that you have to take, what grades you have to get. We're just talking about if I can get 100 people to take the doctor's test, 100 people to take the lawyer's test, 100 people to take a nursing exam, and 100 people to pass a training challenge. The results really shocked me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Right off the bat, right? Um, let's start with the doctors. Okay, now doctors take a test called the USMLE. Okay, and you guys could go ahead and do your own research on it if you want to, but if we could do a quick little read here. Let's look at it right here. Okay, so the overall pass rates by applicant types. Okay, in the US medical students from LCME accredited schools, okay, achieve first attempt pass rates of approximately 96 and 97%, reflecting the strong preparation provided by accredited medical education programs. So let's try to run that back one more time. Around 96 to 97% of students that come from an accredited school pass the test, their doctor's test, the first try. It's because of the information and the education from those schools. Okay, and you're gonna notice a trend by the time it gets to the end of the video of what I'm trying to get at. Okay, now I know you guys are already getting triggered. 96, 97% of people taking that test passed it. Yeah, they've been in school for years and years and years. Okay. But if I can get 100 people that want to be doctors, okay, that want to take the USMLE, okay, and they go through freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, they go through their extra board schools, they go through all their clinicals, they go through all their tests. Okay, when they make it to the end, 96% of them are going to pass. So 96 people are going to pass. Okay, however long that may take, right? And you can see maybe like different people from different schools get different pass rates. Essentially, international people get around 70 to 80%, right? So that's data point number one for doctors. Now the nurses take a test called the NCLEX. Okay. You could also, we could use other websites. I don't want this to be too long. This first one was from Ace Medboards. Maybe we could try to figure out, where their data came from, if they have any links or whatnot. But we're just going based off, these medical websites. And I mean, 96%. I don't see why they would make the numbers worse. If anything, they make the numbers better. So, yeah, you might need to look that up. Okay. Number two, the NCLEX. It's a test that the nurses take. Okay. It's a nursing council, state boards nursing, or these people give the information for the NCLEX exam. Okay. Let's get into it. The total pass rate for all NCLEX RN candidates was 69.1%. We'll call it 70. Okay. Let's get 100 people that want to become nurses. They go through the first 2 years of prerequisites. They go through the second 2 years of pre-nursing, right? Um, they take their tests. I think what do they get another 2 years after that, after their senior year to become a nurse. So let's call it 6 years, 4 to 6 years to become a nurse. From start to finish, 70%. Okay. Um, why do you think that? Well, there's so much education, there's so many books, there's so many teachers, and all of the education and the books between the doctors with USMLE and the nurses with the NCLEX, they're verified, accredited. They got to make sure before the book is released that they're given the right information. Also, their structure. You have your prerequisites. You have to go through math and algebra, and then you have to go through English and science. And then when you get to your second 2 years, after your first 2 years, in the college, you get your second two, and they're going to be focused on nursing. You're going to take your anatomy, physiology, right? Um, so there's structure to it. So as long as you start and stay course, however long it may take you, some people get their nursing faster than some people. Some people and they get their doctors faster. Some people take longer, right? Regardless, from start to finish, if I get 100 people that want to become nurses, 69, 70 of them should pass it, okay, and become nurses. Now let's get to the bar, right? The bar exam is something that lawyers take. I think it takes around 4 to 8 years to become a lawyer. I probably should have checked that before. But let's just talk about people from start to finish, right? What we have here, 2024 numbers. Jurisdictions reported that 70,000 people taking the bar exam in 2024, around 61% pass. So these numbers are a little bit, lower, right? 2024 statistics. Overall pass rate in February 2024, 43%. And overall pass rate in July of 2024 was 68%. So the numbers are a little bit different. I guess make sure to take your exam in July. I don't know why, but and then 4% of these people were non-ABA approved schools with 23%. So what does that mean? Go to an ABA approved school for the bar exam, and you should have a good percentage in terms of passing it. Why do you think? Well, structure, education, accredited. You know that you have to go through a lot of law if you want to become a lawyer. Learn a lot of law to become a lawyer. The books and the education and the teachers that are teaching you information, it can't be lies. It can't be wrong information. These books have to go through a lot of publication and a lot of vetting to make sure that they're not giving you the wrong information. Okay, so recap. USMLE, around 90, to become a doctor, around 96 and 97% of the people first try pass it. Okay. NCLEX, nursing, around 70%, 69, 70% of people that take the NCLEX pass it. And bar exam, okay, around 60 to 68% of the people that take the bar exam pass it. Now, let's go into trading. Okay. This is from Finance Magnets, and this was released from the Funded Trader, which is a forex prop firm. So this was released in 2025. Only 1 in 20 traders pass prop firm challenges. Okay, 1 in 20. So it says of those who pass, 20% even receive a payout. That means 1% of all people that trade this prop firm actually make money. Okay, and there's other industry data that shows brutal statistics. So let's keep on going here. Receiving a payout is about 1 to 2% chance. And where else was it here? The challenge pass rates range around 5 to 10%. Okay, so that's where we need to look at right here. This is at this prop firm, okay, but we know that it's about this. This is the average for almost every single prop firm. Okay, depending on the rules, right? Now, of course, don't do a prop firm. Put your own money in there, but still, it's not like if you don't do a prop firm and you put your own money, you have a higher chance of making money. Those numbers are still super low. But when you deposit your own money in a personal account, I mean, you don't have rules. You don't have a challenge to pass. So, yeah, we all advise don't do a prop firm if you have a lot of money. Just the risk to reward is way better. Of course, you pay $100 for an account, you can make $1,000 on an account in 2 weeks. So, that's another conversation. We're looking at prop firms, okay? At TFT, the funded trader, 5 to 10%. Only about 20% of funded traders receive a payout. Okay. Now, 1 to 2% chance of achieving a payout. So 5 to 10% get a challenge or pass a challenge, and 1 to 2% achieve a payout. Okay. For every 100 clients who start the process, approximately 1 or 2 receive a payout. But let's not even do the payout because we're talking about passing a challenge, passing a test compared to the other ones. If 100 people that wanted to become a doctor take the USMLE, 90 to 96% of them are going to become a doctor and pass the test. Doesn't mean they're going to be good doctors. Doesn't mean they're going to get a lot of whatever. I'm talking about just passing the test. Okay. Now, let's do the NCLEX for nurses. Around 60 to 70 are going to pass it, right? Out of 100 people that want to become nurses, not just some random hobo. Hey, come take the test. No, we're talking about people that want to become traders, want to become nurses, doctors, and lawyers. Okay, and then let's go to the bar exam. People that want to become lawyers, they go through the schooling. Takes about 60 of them, 60% chance of passing it. Okay, traders, 100 traders, you're going to get about 5 to 10 people that pass the challenge, and 1 or 2 people are going to get a payout. Now imagine someone that is profitable for over a year and has gotten multiple payouts and has gotten payouts after payout consistently month to month. That's lower than 1%. Okay. Now let's see. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so that's that one, and then we have one more here, right? From the Funder Pro, which I believe is another prop firm. Yeah, they have another prop firm. Okay, this is 2025, right? Let's see. From Quant VPS, Hyatt Strike, and the Funded Trader. That's one that we read March. Yeah, January. Yeah, March 2025. But the data shows in 2025, Quant VPS, June 2025, shows that 5 to 10% of people pass, 7% receive a reward. Okay. 2024, 5 to 10% pass range. Okay. Discipline is a stronger differentiator than exotic strategies. Okay. That's what they noted there on High Strike and the Funded Trader. 5 to 10% pass, and around 20% of funded traders receive a reward, which is 1% of the 10 people to 20%. So the key takeaway: verified public sources consistently show low pass rates. About 5 to 10% of people pass evaluations, and a smaller share maintain accounts long enough to even withdraw profits. Just because you pass an account does not mean that you get a payout. That's what the statistics are showing. Yeah, you could pass an account, but how many people of those even get a payout? It's 7%, 20% of those people that get a payout. So, let alone you get one payout, then you have to get do this full time. You got to have multiple payouts. Okay. Now, here's something right here. Factors that influence it: risk management, trading style, psychology, experience, and preparation. Okay. Those are, of course, things that you got to have a good setup, an A plus setup, and have good risk management. That's one part of it. Okay. But here is the key takeaway of this whole video. Okay. Why is one thing, just to give you the numbers. Why do doctors, lawyers, and nurses that start to finish pass it, and traders from start to finish pass it? Well, there's no key curriculum, there's no key structure. Okay, there is no education, there's no prerequisites. You have to pass with a 70 or above. You have to get season get degrees and stuff. Like, there's no accredited schools for trading. There's no teacher that is accredited and vetted, and they have a higher up assistant principal and deans and all this stuff to check and vet the your teachers or your professors uh coursework and make sure that they have a good curriculum. There is none of that in trading. You have, mentor to mentor to mentor, that they're all LARPing and they're all fucking making their course off of chat GBT, like TJR and a lot of people. They admitted themselves that they got off of chat GBT, and they just sell a course. you know there is no real structure. There's no start here. Okay, this is what this is. Okay, this is a candlestick. This is okay. Now before you could start trading, take this test on candlesticks. Oh, you passed it. Oh, you failed it. Okay, you're not going to be able to move on to the next step until you pass this. Okay, now I see that you know what a doji is. I see that you know what an engulfing is. I see that you know what an inversion is, a version fair value gap. I see you know what a fair value gap is. I see what you know what a trend line means. You know what liquidity is. You know what a liquidity sweep versus liquidity run. You know what a downtrend is, an uptrend is. There's no tests. You just get the information and then you go. Yeah, imagine uh you try doing that to be a doctor. That would be impossible. I mean, there's going to be some people that are going to figure it out, but let's say you were given all of the books between how to have, surgery and an ER doctor, and then all the way to anatomy, and you're given 100 books on your desk. Which one are you going to start from? And let's say you have no teacher, you have no timeline, you have no grading. Then you're gonna read the book, and then you're gonna think you know the information. You're not gonna have a teacher to grade the stuff, and then you might jump from one book to the next and realize, oh man, I should have gone from anatomy, physiology. I should have gone to um, I don't know, life support, basic life support after that. And then from basic life support, I need to go to this and that. We need structure. There's no structure in trading, and there is structure in becoming a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer. What we have in trading is just YouTube, which is, YouTube University. It's a sea of knowledge. It has everything, but there isn't a start to finish. But to become a doctor, there is. You have to maintain a GPA, and if you don't, you fail. You don't continue. That is the main point of this. Okay, now being a doctor, a lawyer, and a nurse is way, way, way more important than being a trader. Now, of course, if you make a lot of money trading, you could use it to have food drives, to fund different things for the community. Okay, you can. Do most of the traders do that? No, of course not. They just LARP and they just buy stuff for them. They support their families. That's good, So I'm not here to judge anyone. They could do whatever they want with their money. But if you wanted to, be important to society, as a trader, you do stuff like that, right? But a majority of them don't. Being a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse is way more important and way more valuable to society. I was a firefighter, okay? And that is way more important than being a trader, okay? But looking at the statistics, it is it is harder to become a day trader consistently and profitably for a career than it is to become a doctor, a lawyer, and a nurse. So go ahead and like this video, dislike this video. Let me see your comments. And stay tuned for the next video. See you guys.